Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Dr. Bill here. I'm about 6.5 miles up trail today on what is probably going to be about a 14-mile hike. I did a pretty ferocious leg workout in the gym the day before yesterday, and I like to give myself at least 2 days downtime to rest my legs before I start doing anything strenuous. But today is going to be the last day of the warm weather here in northern Utah. Below 5,000 feet, we usually get pretty warm weather right up until about the third week in October, and that's exactly what's happening. Tomorrow there's a storm coming in, and today it's going to be in the mid-70s, mid to upper 70s. Tomorrow it's going to drop 20 degrees, and it's going to stay down in the low 50s thereafter, with temperatures at night going on to the low 40s and upper 30s. So the fun thing about Utah is that we get warm weather generally right up until the third week in October, and then we crowd all of the fall into the last 5 weeks. Hey, one thing I wanted to tell you that I didn't mention in my last video is that at the end of September I had my 73rd birthday. So I'm almost a month into my 74th trip around the sun, but still pounding out the miles, which brings me great joy. You can see that I'm wearing a lime green shirt today, not my typical long sleeve dress shirt. The reason for that is because hunting season opened this weekend, and I want to stand out so that if I come across any hunters, I won't have any kinds of problems. So, let me start moving again. I am about, as I said before, I'm about 6.5 miles in. I'm doing a 2-mile downhill, and then I will do a 1-mile uphill, and then I'll do about a 5.5-mile downhill if I don't bail out sooner. I do have the opportunity to bail out of this hike at about 10.5 miles. I just haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet. We'll see how my legs hold up. You can still see there's a little bit of fall color up here at about 7,200 feet, but it has diminished significantly. You can see, looking at the hillside, how much the color has faded in just a week. I'm at about 7,200 feet at this point. And many of the trees have lost all their leaves completely. But you can see that brilliant color that we were looking at just a week ago has diminished significantly. So I'm hiking in the beautiful Wasatch Mountains of Utah. You can see how tall these trees go up. I'll just do a 360 here for you. The Wasatch are a really interesting range of mountains. About 250 miles from here in Colorado, they call that area the West Slope. But actually the Wasatch Mountains have two unique distinctions. The first is that they make up part of the Rocky Mountain chain. They form the western boundary of the Rocky Mountains here in Utah, but they also serve the secondary purpose of forming the eastern boundary of the Great Basin Desert. And I actually don't know how far the Great Basin Desert runs from here, but it's got to be at least 300 miles due west, maybe 400 miles. This is just a beautiful mountain range to hike through. We have another beautiful bluebird day here today in Utah. You see that blue sky? Having a great time on this hike. So it's decision-making time for me. I can make a left here and in 9.5 miles get back to a trailhead and have my wife pick me up. So I'm on that crossover trail back to my Jeep. Unfortunately, I'm doing another 2 miles uphill, so this whole hike is going to be consistently uphill. But this is the vista from about the midpoint on the trail. And you can see this is some pretty spectacular scenery through here. With this being the opening of hunting season, I had hoped that we would see some deer on the trail or some cougar on the trail or some elk, even a moose. But I have not seen anything in the entire trail, and I'm about 13 and a half miles in. So I'm sorry to disappoint, but unless we see something in the next half mile, 3/4 of a mile, I don't think I'll have any wildlife to show you. So I have to say, I'm pretty pleased with the way these old legs held up on this hike today, with only one day of rest between that really intensive workout that I did in the gym the day before yesterday. I'm about maybe 1/4 of a mile from the vehicle. It's going to turn out that this is probably going to be about 14 and maybe 0.33 miles, something like that. I'll check when I get to the end. In any event, I hope you enjoyed this hike, and thank you for joining me on it, and I'll see you on the trail. And as a postscript, true to form, it's only 2 days since our hike, and it's about 45 degrees colder, and we're seeing our first snow of the season. Still October.